Hey everyone, welcome back to UE5 BP Guru. Today we're going to be looking at something very small but very powerful and useful to your coding. It's math expression. A few people in the Discord, so thank you to you guys, kind of pointed me in the direction of using this to kind of simplify our code a little bit more. So you can see here, and also in our physical attacks, we are now using math expression. I've also cleared up the code quite a lot, so I will be covering this down the line, but I thought we'd look specifically at math expression because it is a very useful tool to reduce the amount of nodes you have in your code, and you can let the system do a lot of the work for you, especially these math expression nodes. So you can see here we've got our normal Pokemon code, which is 2 times level, plus 1 divided by 5 plus 2 times by move power times by attack / defense, divide that by 50 plus 2 times by stab times by typing 1 times by typing 2. So using this method, I've basically, because I've named like things like move power, AD, and T1, T2, it's given me these variable inputs I can use to just plug straight in, and I don't have to worry about anything. The code works everything out for me. I've also just updated this in the calculate XP, so I will make a new one just so you can see me do it. So we have let's let go of that for a second. So on the right hand side, it brings you up a section called expression. Now this is where you put in your math basically. So let's start off by following the Pokemon code. So for a fast Pokemon, it is 4 times, I've put in 3, 4 times our level. We can close that bracket there. That will, so for example, if your level is 5, that's 20. Then we times it by level again. That will then become 100, because it's times by 5, so 20 times 5 is 100. We then divide it by a level again, times it by level again, sorry. That then becomes 500. And then we finish off with a divide. Now I could put in 5, divided by 5 like that. It's because I haven't done the closed brackets. Do not forget to add in the actual closed brackets on the other side. So that's our code. Now, if I plug in level like so, it's going to come, if I change this float for level to an integer, it will also output an integer, and I can't change that on the other side because the whole thing going through is integers. So what I need to do is I need to change the 5 to a name so that I can plug in my own value for a float. So we're going to stick in divide, which automatically comes out as a float, and because that's the last thing it finishes on, it comes out as a float. So we can take our new level that's been increased and plug that in. I've also created, you can see it already here, I've created a new value or new variable called XP divide, which I've set to 5, and I've plugged that in. And then all you've got to do is plug that into your new max XP. Simple as that. And the math expression takes care of the rest. It works everything else out from the variables we've plugged in. And if I go back to our player attack, you can physical attack, sorry. You can see here that the code's a lot longer, and for every one of these sort of names I've put in here, it gives me a new variable to input, so it knows what figure that needs to be replaced with. So for example, our typings are attack / divided by defense, and our stab. And it works all of that out for me, so it'll do 2 times level, then it'll times it by 1, which I think is left in there for the original trainer or new trainer that Pokemon does. I can actually remove that because I'm probably not going to do that for mine. I think that's actually unfair that if you trade Pokemon you get a better attack. Yeah, that's just my thought process. But anyway, then it's divided by 5, and then we add 2, we times it by the move power, we then times that by whatever our attack and divided by defense is, that's why it's A/D. Then we divide the whole of that by 50, we add 2, times it by our stab, times it by our typing 1, and then times it by our typing 2 to get our figure that is our attack. And you can see down here where I've changed the physical attack. Now it does physical and special all in one line of code. By doing that, all I've done is it a physical move? If it is, we set our attack/defense by our defense and attack. If it's a special attack, we take our SP attack and SP defense instead, and we set that same figure. That whole second line of code was only changed. It was only added purely by this one difference. Everything else was exactly the same. So it was only different from the attack and defense or the SP attack and SP defense. So by setting up one new variable on our battle proxy, I've eliminated a whole row of code. Why I didn't think of doing that in the first place, I don't know. I suppose when we're doing this in the moment, we sometimes overlook these things, and a second look at your code will sometimes change these things. But anyway, it's done now. So yeah, a lot more efficient, and using this has definitely cleared up. I mean, if you can remember, we had like 10 different lines, 10 different nodes, and we've now put that into one node. So very efficient. Highly recommend using these math expressions when you're using multiple nodes to get figures out of them, and very powerful. So hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully you'll use them in your game as well when you're determining these things. I'm going to go back to the event graph just so you can have a look. It looks a lot cleaner now. There's not strings going everywhere. I've also done this across the board, so it's all looking a lot neater. You can see we're not plugging our current ringmons and our parties into everything. It's all done now very efficiently, which is great. Also, I can get rid of that, actually, I've just noticed. But yeah, all looking a lot nicer, a lot neater, a lot more efficient, as I said. I also noticed things like this where we're doing a check for, I was plugging in parties and it's just not needed. So yeah, a lot more efficient, and I will go over all of this when it's done. I've still got the enemy attacks to do. I've still got to calculate our XP, and also add in trainers and stuff. But we've also changed a lot of things like where we're spawning our creatures. So I've got the battle widget open, I'll show you. If we go to this, there's none of that happening now on here. Wherever it was, I can't remember now. Oh, it was in the level BP. I haven't got it open, but I will be going over it anyway. So we're going to do, I know the vote came through that to continue doing these videos, hence why I'm doing the math expression one today. But going forward, I will do one large episode for the encounters because it's changed so drastically. It wouldn't make sense for me to do like another 4 or 5 episodes to explain all the differences I've made. I'd rather do it in one big episode. Other things haven't changed, like accepting our ringmon, that hasn't changed. The Nurse Joy healing up, that hasn't changed. But I will remove any episodes that are no longer relevant, and so that you can start from the new episode and get it right first time round. Save everyone watching like 20 episodes of just irrelevant code that's going to change anyway. So this is like a little sneak peek of that. Again, it's still got a lot of changing to do, so don't go look at this and go, oh, I can do what he's done. Don't, because when I finished it, it will all be correct, and it will cover trainers and encounters. So we're going to cover both of those off in one very long episode before we move on to anything else, and that will probably be next week once I finish this code. But we're about halfway finished at the moment. So yeah, hopefully you found the math expression part useful, and thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you to everyone who's subscribing. We're very close to 1,000, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. It really will help the channel to grow, and thank you so much to everyone who already has and who supports the channel by watching the videos. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.